the document be noted. I call the member for O'Connor.
Thank you, Acting Deputy Speaker, and I acknowledge, as I follow on from the member for Moreton, possibly his last contribution in this place, as he's just about quoted out, another couple of days, wasn't probably going to be one of your best contributions, unfortunately, and I don't think it'll age well. But to the chair of the committee, the member for Hunter, I thank him for bringing the committee to Collie in my electorate, and it was good to give the people of Collie and certainly some experts that appear before the committee the opportunity to have some input into the findings of the committee, which having looked at the evidence and looked at what received, I find it difficult to see how the committee arrived at its conclusion, but that's of course the privilege of the chair to direct the secretariat to produce the report at the end of the day. And my good friend, the member for Cook, who has only been in this place a little bit over 12 months, said during his contribution this morning that he came in here naively thinking that these committees were about actually going out, gathering evidence, considering that evidence in an unbalanced and an unbiased and balanced way, and then come out with a conclusion which is in the best interest, which is supported by the evidence and in the best interest of the nation. But he was sadly disillusioned by the way that things panned out. And when I think back to my own experience, middle of last year, we had I'm the deputy chair of the Agricultural Standing Committee, and once again, we had a report that was delivered which certainly wasn't backed up by the evidence that the committee heard over the period of that committee's work. But to get back to the issue at hand, which is nuclear, the potential for nuclear energy in this country and how it might solve some of the issues that we're confronting, which includes some of the highest energy costs in the world, up to 3 times higher than equivalent jurisdictions. And the Labor Party has never revealed the true cost of its renewables-only plan through to 2050, and not even the market operator could advise the House Select Committee on the nuclear inquiry the total system cost of the renewables-only plan. But we do see the cost to businesses and households soaring, up to $1,300 increase in the last 3 years alone, and as I say, the highest energy costs of any sort of similar jurisdiction in the world. No evidence was presented to the inquiry to challenge the Frontier Economics report, which put a price tag of $642 billion on the Labor Party's plan, and that's before factoring in the billions more for transition lines, land acquisition and storage. And of course, the $642 billion, for those people from Western Australia who may watch this little video, didn't include Western Australia. That's the eastern market grid, and West Australia, the Southwest Integrated System, is separate from that. So in November last year, it was quite revealing on the ABC Country Hour, where Jay Thomas, who is the Coordinator of Energy for a WA government initiative called Powering WA, and he estimated the level of investment required for the WA system would be, and this is a direct quote, in the order of $200 billion over the next 20 to 25 years. That's just for the WA system, so that's on top of the eastern market over here. So in comparison, the total system cost of the Coalition's plan to transform the entire national electricity market through to 2050, including nuclear energy, is $331 billion. This includes transmission lines, renewables, gas and nuclear. The nuclear part of the equation is around $120 billion, with nuclear making up 38% of a balanced energy mix. Labor's 100% renewable-only plan, by comparison, is 44% more expensive and does not provide any firming baseload power for when the sun does not shine and the wind doesn't blow. Now, the nuclear hearing visited my electorate of Collie, the site for a proposed small modular reactor, and I do thank all those who took time to put in a submission, make a submission or give evidence to the committee. And look, Collie has long been the energy capital of Western Australia, with several coal-fired power plants delivering reliable electricity to large parts of Western Australia through the comprehensive transmission network which radiates out of Collie. And Collie also produces the electricity for the nearby Worsley Alumina Refinery, which supports over 2,000 jobs. So the good people of Collie and surrounds have a high degree of energy literacy. If they haven't worked in the coal mines or in the power plants, they've been involved in other industries dependent on the reliable energy produced in Collie, and are most accustomed to wages commensurate with their skills. They're all concerned about their employment, particularly given that the WA state government plans to close down the coal mines and the Muja power plant in 2029. Now, Deputy Speaker, I just want to, I know the Labor Party think they're on a political winner here, but we did see in the Queensland election they gave up on trying to run the scare campaign up there after a few weeks. And in the recent WA election, it was very revealing that the seat of Collie Preston, which is, Collie is a Labor town. It's a union town. It's a Labor town. And Jodie Harnes, who's led the scare campaign on behalf of Labor in WA, the member for Perth popped up with the odd cameo performance, but it's mainly been the member for Collie Preston, who's run the scare campaign. So on election night, which wasn't great for the WA Liberal Party, I'll be the first to admit that, but I did note that the seat of Collie Preston had a 19% two-party preferred swing against it, the Labor Party, the sitting member. The primary vote for the sitting member, who, as I say, had been leading the scare campaign, the swing against her on the primary vote was 20%. So I'm just not that sure that this is the political winner, particularly in the town of Collie, that people think it is. Sorry, you want to quote the numbers to me?
I was looking at the results. Yeah, you only got 22.9%.
What's the two-party preferred swing? It's 20%. We have a preferential voting system, in case you hadn't noticed. You might notice come election day. But, Deputy Speaker, nuclear energy is not just confined in my electorate to Collie and the interest in nuclear energy. In fact, in the town of Kalgoorlie, which is at the end of a 600-kilometre transmission line, which has regularly had power blackouts, and in February 2024, the power was out for up to a week for some residents there. They are crying out for a nuclear power plant in Kalgoorlie. It was transmission issues, yeah. But if you have a power plant in Kalgoorlie, then you don't have the transmission issues. You can send it back down the you can send it back down the line, Dan. So let me. Am I able to speak here? Or okay. So when the leader of the opposition came to Diggers and Dealers in Kalgoorlie in August last year, to meet with mining industry people, as we drove into town, there's a banner on one of the main intersections it's on Hannon Street, and the banner said, "Kalgoorlie Boulder welcomes Peter Dutton and welcomes nuclear energy." So there are towns out there, there are people across my electorate who welcome nuclear energy because they can see the benefits of it. But not only that, in the seat of O'Connor, we've got 3 uranium deposits, which Australia does mine uranium. We export it to the rest of the world. But there are 3 deposits in O'Connor that are waiting to be exploited. One of them, Deep Yellow's Mulga Rock, is permitted and ready to go. They're in the process of preparing that mine for operation. So we will see uranium being mined in O'Connor. It'll be trucked through Kalgoorlie and then out through to South Australia, where it'll be exported out of Adelaide, the port of Adelaide, which is already accredited, and we export a significant amount of uranium out of Adelaide. But that's right. So we mine uranium, we export it. But not only that, we have an extraordinary storage site in the electorate of O'Connor at Sandy Ridge, which is about halfway between Coolgardie and Southern Cross. It's one of the most geologically stable parts of the planet, of the surface. It is fully permitted. It is permitted to accept low-level nuclear waste, which was the planned site in South Australia at Kimber, which fell over. But the site at Sandy Ridge is permitted to take low-level nuclear waste and is ready to go. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. The question is that the document be noted